Alright, today's video is going to discuss the Daytona 500 results. Alright, now, just kidding. Of course, I have no interest in that. Don't know anything about it. Just thought it was something funny to say. But I got this question recently, and I'll answer the question and give you more of my story. That is, can you stop being a narcissist? First off, I want to say that I absolutely believe 100% that someone who puts forth an effort can change. Through Christ and therapy, yes, very possible to stop being a narcissist. But the problem is, see, I didn't choose to change myself. However, a lot of people don't understand this. I didn't wake up one day and decide to stop being a narcissist. See, my story is I kind of stumbled into it. Maybe God chose me. I didn't think anything was wrong with me. So I was going through a divorce. I lost my job. Parts of my family didn't want really anything to do with me anymore. During my separation with my wife, she said that if I went to therapy for 6 months, she would take me back. That's the only reason why I went to therapy, was to get her back. I didn't think there was anything wrong with me during this time. Now, my daughter did say that she thought I was a narcissist one day out of the blue a few years ago. And then one of my friends, I don't want to say her name, we'll just call her Katie, she said that I was a narc too. Obviously, in my mind, they were wrong. Now, what happened to me was in therapy, my therapist, a few months after therapy, said the same thing. So I finally had to face it. Finally. How can all these people be saying the same things? There must be some shred of truth there. So that's when I accepted my diagnosis and accepted the fact that I was a narcissist. That's the hardest thing to do when a narcissistic person wants to change. They have to admit and accept the fact that they are a narcissist to change. I only did that because so many people said, this is what I was. Multiple people said the same thing over and over. So what I'm getting at is, I think a lot of people miss this, and that yes, a narcissistic person can change. The problem is how? How do you get them to therapy? How do you get them to admit that there's something wrong so you can fix it? Obviously, we all know that the problem is getting a narcissist to therapy and admitting what they are. That's the real problem. That's the most complicated part of this process. See, I only changed because I had a lot of narcissistic injuries at once, a lot of pain at once, basically. Thus, it deflated my ego. There's another guy on YouTube, Lee Hammock from Mental Healness. He had the same thing. He had a separation with his girlfriend or his wife at the time, and he looked up his disorder and discovered what he was. So what I'm saying is, change is possible, but through accepting truth. How do you get them to accept the truth? You can't explode a bunch of narcissistic injuries on a narcissistic person to make them change, right? It's not possible. So sometimes they do change when they collapse. I was in a vulnerable state, ready for change. That's why it was possible for me. Same thing with Lee Hammond from Mental Healness. He was in a vulnerable state, deflated ego, and he was accepting of change. That's what worked for us. These are the only things that worked. How do you get a narcissistic person to admit what they are? You can't collapse their ego, and how do you give them all these losses at once? They don't think that they're ever doing anything wrong. They don't think there's anything wrong with them. So they're not going to fix anything because they don't think there's anything wrong. So I suffered multiple injuries at once, and it got me to that state. How do you get a narcissistic person there? I don't know, unfortunately. I wish I had a really good answer for you, but I don't. While change is possible, how do you get a narcissistic person to see that change is even needed? See, in the mind of a narcissist, they are perfect. Everyone around them is imperfect. Can a narcissistic person stop being a narcissist. Yes, but without admitting what they are, there is no hope. Without admitting what they are and actively trying to change, they can never stop being a narcissist. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth. These are facts, and thanks for watching. God bless you.